Hey everyone, Ruben here, KinderDog PDX. This here is the second video in our safety series. So just to reiterate, so these videos are geared towards folks who have dogs, who maybe bite them. And so these are ways that you can stay safe while also starting to work your dog to rebuild that relationship so they stop biting you. If you haven't, I would go back to our muzzle conditioning video, or just going over muzzles. It's not a conditioning video, it's just how to pick the right muzzle. There are links for the muzzle conditioning process, but you would refer to that one so that you can get your dog in a muzzle, because this does require putting a different collar on your dog, getting a leash on your dog, and if you can't do those things, you're going to want to get a muzzle on so that you can do those. All right, so in this video what we're going to explain is getting your dog into the kennel, getting your dog out of the kennel. Sometimes if your dog is in the back of the kennel, we've definitely heard this, like if someone tried to reach in to leash their dog up, that the dog might go after them. And so the reason for that is because there's a lot of pressure coming onto the dog by us reaching into the kennel, especially if they're in the back and we're trying to reach in. There's a lot of spatial pressure on them, and that could cause them to react negatively. Okay, so the idea is we get a leash on them, and they just have a leash on so that we can bring them out, put them into a sit of some, or just stand there. But the idea is we get them out, we relieve a lot of that pressure, and then we can gear the dog up. Okay, so to go over what you're going to need for this, we like to use a martingale style collar. Okay, so a martingale is basically like a prong collar without the prongs. You can tighten it like so, and then when the collar gets tight, see how it meets these two ends here? This is like so the dog can't slip out on accident. Dogs can definitely slip out of their flat buckle collars. All it takes is a real quick head turn from them, and then they're out of their collar, and now you're trying to chase down your dog who wants to bite you. So this is a little safety backup, okay? The other thing you're gonna need is a 15-foot leash. This one here is a 30-foot leash. You can use a 30-foot leash too, but 15-foot is a good size. And then you're going to want a little carabiner, and this is going to go on the handle of your 30-foot leash. So it's literally just like so, because this is going to then hang onto the outside of your kennel. Okay, so I'm gonna bring Lucy over here to demonstrate. Lucy, here. All right, so we've got our little martingale collar on the dog. Okay, I'm going to leash her up. Right, so now I've got control over her. If maybe she tried to book away or something, I'm gonna have good control over her. And then, just like everything else, I want, respectful moments. I don't want her just to rush into the kennel or anything like that. So I'm gonna say, great. All right, so now we just roll up the leash. And the reason why we use a 15-footer is so that the dog can move around and they're not going to get the leash caught on anything. So they can move around. They got all that leash there. And another thing that I would recommend is so she could chew that leash up. She could totally rip it in half, whatever. She can do whatever she wants. What I would recommend is going a little bit further, is getting a grabber tool. The ones that you've seen on TV, the folks who have the little hand grabber, and they can grab a jar from the top shelf or something like that. One of the little grabby tools could be helpful if you needed to grab an end of the leash to tie it back together. All right, but the way this is going to work is, say my dog was at the back of the kennel, right? And doing this, that could leave you open for a bite, okay? So again, spatial pressure. Dogs operate on pressure, okay? And us moving into the dog, us coming into her like this, it puts a lot of pressure on the dog, okay? So what you would do, you know, because you don't want your dog to rush out of the kennel, especially if you're brand new to all of this stuff, is I like to first, I will open the door up, but just not open it, get this thing unhooked, and now I'm going to like just position my foot like so the dog can't come rushing out. But now I'm just going to get my leash together, okay? And if I need to tie anything together, I'll tie it together. But same thing, right? I'm waiting for a respectful moment. You know, I don't want her coming rushing out. If she was to rush out, I would close the door. You know, and you can refer to our crate training video on that part of this. But again, now she's on a leash. I don't have to reach in, which could leave me open for a bite. Let's go. Sit. Good. And now at this moment, I could muzzle my dog up if I needed to. I can put her leash and prong collar on if I needed to. You know, this is the space where I would do all of that. And I would even close the door after I got her out of her kennel, because this could also be another pressure source thing where maybe she wants to flee back into the kennel because I have a fearful dog and they just want to like flee back in there. That can create a moment of tension. So it's actually really preferable that when you get your dog out, close it up and actually move a little bit further away from the kennel door. That way you're just like really creating a good distinction between that and this. And then, you know, this is where you can like muzzle your dog up, have their tools, get all of that stuff ready to go, so you don't get bit. This is by far one of the best things that I ever learned. Lucy, place. As far as keeping yourself safe from dogs that are dodgy, moving into the kennel like that, it just, again, it puts a lot of pressure on dogs, and that's when we can get left open for a bite. So that's the basically the basics of getting your aggressive dog out of the kennel in order so that you don't get bit. Okay. If you have any questions about that, you know, definitely feel free to message us. You can send us an email. Because this is on YouTube, we have our comments disabled. But you can send us an email if you have questions about what to do with that. Or if you don't feel comfortable doing that, maybe it's time to hire a professional to get over that hump for you, right? But anyways, that's how we go about getting dogs who may want to bite us in and out of the kennel safely. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you later. Bye.